this video, we're going to talk about multiplying binomials. So let's start with example 1. We have x plus 2, x minus 7. So we're going to solve it using two methods, the box method or table method, and we'll also solve it using FOIL. So first, let's solve it using FOIL. That's the traditional method that most parents are using. So we have x plus 2. Let's just write off to the side so we have room to write. Just make a little bit of room. There we go. So we have x plus 2, x minus 7. So we multiply, we have x times x, which is going to be x squared. Then x times negative 7 will be negative 7x. 2 times x would be plus 2x. And then 2 times negative 7 would be negative 14. So now we just combine our like terms. So we have x squared, negative 7 plus 2x will give me negative 5x minus 14. And we are done. Now we're going to solve the same problem using the box method or tabular method. X times x would be x squared. X times negative 7 would be negative 7x. And this is kind of like a Punnett square from biology. For those who have seen this, they're seeing this for the first time. So 2 times x will be 2x, and 2 times negative 7 will be negative 14. And with this, we just combine our diagonal. So we have x squared, negative 7 plus 2x would be negative 5x, and then we have our negative 14, and we have the same answer as we did when we solved the problem using FOIL. Example 2. It says multiply 3x plus 2 and 5x minus 7. So first we'll solve it using FOIL. So we have 3x plus 2 and 5x minus 7. Multiplying, we get 15x squared minus 21x. To enter, plus 10x, and then minus 14. So remember FOIL. First outer, enter last. So combining the middle terms, we get 15x squared, negative 21x plus 10x would be minus 11x minus 14. So we should get the same thing when we multiply using our tabular method. So 3x times 5x would be 15x squared. 3x times negative 7 would be negative 21x. 2 times 5x would be 10x. And then 2 times negative 7 would be negative 14. Add our diagonal. So we have, sorry, that should be x squared. 15x squared minus 11x minus 14, because negative 21 plus 10 is negative 11. And we are done. Same answer. Example 3. Multiply 10a minus 3 and 5a squared plus 7a minus 1. We can solve this in two different ways as well. We're just going to stick to one way because the more terms we add, the more challenging it gets. So first 10 times 5 would be 50. A times a squared would be a cubed. 10a times 7a would be 70a squared. And then 10a times negative 1 would be negative 10a. Negative 3 times 5 would be negative 15a squared. Negative 3 times 7a would be negative 21a, and negative 3 times negative 1 would be 3. Combine your like terms, which again are the diagonals. Let's highlight to make it stand out more. So this is here's your first set of like terms. So we have two a squared terms, and here's your next one because they just have an a. So we have 50a cubed, 70a squared plus negative 15a squared would be 55a squared. Negative 10a plus 21a would be negative 31a plus 3. And we are done. Example 4, we'll multiply x plus y and x minus y. So x times x will be x squared. This won't stick to the box method or tabular method. X times negative y would be negative xy. X times y would be just xy. And negative y times positive y would be negative y squared. The middles cancel out because opposites cancel, so our final answer is going to be x squared minus y squared. So essentially, this is a special pattern. So essentially what you do is you just take the first term and you square it, and then you put a subtraction sign in the middle, and you square the last term. So let's see what that looks like. So you just take the first term, square it, put a subtraction sign in the middle, take the second term, square it, so we still get x squared minus y squared. So let's try that using for the next example. So we take the 3 and square it, put a minus in the middle, and then we square 5x to the 4th. So that gives me 3 squared is 9. 5, you have to square everything here. 5 squared is 25. Don't forget your subtraction sign. And x to the 4th square will be 4 times 2, or 4 plus 4 will be x to the 8th, and we're done. And then we're going to try the last one just like that. So 3y squared, put your subtraction sign, and 2y to the 5th, and square it. So 3y squared will be 9y to the 4th, minus 2 squared is 4, and y to the 5th squared will be y to the 10th, and we're done. Example 5, we have a plus b quantity squared. So first we'll solve it using the box. So you can just write a plus b as a plus b, a plus b. Make that a look better. So a squared, just a times a is going to be a squared. A times b is going to be ab. Again, b times a is going to be ab, and b times b is going to be b squared. So our final answer is going to be a squared. There's 2 ab's plus 2ab plus b squared. So let's see what that looks like if we weren't going to use this out. We weren't going to use the table. So essentially, you take the first term and square it, plus 2 times the first term times the second term, plus the last term squared. So a squared is going to be a squared. 2 times a times b is going to be 2ab, plus the last term squared is going to be b squared. So let's apply that to our next example. So we have 5x to the 6 squared, plus 2 times 5x to the 6 times 4. So 2 times the first term times the last term, plus 4 quantity squared. So 5 squared is going to be 25. X to the 6 squared is going to be x to the 12. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 2 times 5 times 4. So 2 times 5 is 10, times 4 is 40. X to the 6, and then 4 squared is 16. And we are done. Last example. So we have 3t squared plus 2 times 3t squared times negative 7t to the 6 plus negative 7t to the 6 and square it. So first 3 squared is going to give me 9. T squared is going to give me t to the 4th, plus 2 times 3 is 6 times negative 7. Just change the sign because that's going to be a negative. The 2 times 3 is 6 times negative 7 is negative 42. T squared times t to the 6 will be t to the 8th. And then last, we have take note that the sign changed when we have a subtraction in the middle. Last, we want to do negative 7 times 7 squares will be 49. And t to the 6 squares will be t to the 12th. And we are